You're watching Guude. You're watching Guude. Fighting just to save our lives. Got you laughing every night.
Welcome back, everybody. Did you see HoloLens 2 has been announced?
No, so you know what? I forgot about this. I was going to talk about this the other day. I did. Did they ever actually release HoloLens 1?
Yeah, I got an email a while back to buy one, and it was like $1,500 to buy it at the time. I think whenever they sold it publicly, it was more. I think I was on like a list from the early testing that it was a little bit cheaper. I think it was like $3,000 if you bought it just outright.
I know it was the thing that you thought was the thing that was ever invented.
It is the most amazing thing. And the new one has doubled the field of view, and that was the only complaint I had, was that the field of view was low. Like, the price tag on the new one is $3,500, and I'm just trying so hard to justify spending that much money on it, but I just don't know what kind of support it has, like software-wise, and that's where my biggest problem is currently.
Well, and I was very upset because we went to, I think, a PAX shortly after that, and I thought I was going to get an opportunity to play with it because I thought Microsoft was supposed to be there and you were supposed to have a meeting with them, and for some reason we weren't allowed to come and like sample the HoloLens. So all I've ever heard is your account of it, and I thought I was going to use it at one point, and then I never got to use it. So, and then I basically never heard about it again.
Yeah, most of their stuff has been military contracts, to be honest. So a lot of where the HoloLens has gone is basically military use. Like they made 50,000 units just for the military.
Okay, I mean, that's great. What is it for if there's not like big software titles that are?
I mean, it's not a gaming device for one thing.
Because it's augmented reality versus virtual reality, correct?
Right. And it was so good. Like, I can't, it's one of those things that until you experience it, you can't understand what it's like. But it was insane to have a TV on a wall where there was no TV, and it to look like there was a TV, and you not to be able to tell there wasn't a TV. Like, that shit just fucked my mind up. And stepping into Minecraft, like, actually, like, being inside of the world was just... It was fucked up, man. It's like so much different than virtual reality.
Can you even buy a device now and step into Minecraft?
That's what I don't know. I don't know if there's still the same Minecraft support. Like, I don't know what kind of support the thing itself has. And that's my biggest question whenever it goes to buying the HoloLens 2 is what can it do? Because if no one is doing anything with it, then, you know... But
then what's the point?
Yeah, but I really think that I don't know how many years in the future this is going to be, but there's going to be a time in the future when everyone is wearing augmented reality glasses.
I would agree. But I will say, though, in general, I thought things like VR glasses would, like Oculus Rift and all that, would be a lot more popular at this point than they are. They came out decent number of years ago that I thought it was just going to be like kind of a learning curve. Give them like 3 to 4 years, and they're going to kind of take the market, and they have not done that.
I think there's a few things with the problem there. It is not a standalone device. I mean, Oculus has announced a standalone device that doesn't require a computer, and I think that's the step that it's going to take to get more people with it. Because as it is now, you need a substantial investment to even get into virtual reality. Like, you can't just...
Oh, you can get the Gear VR. Which
sure, but have you ever fucking played with that thing?
No.
It's bad. It's bad. It's not good. And so there's a reason why, you know, people are...
We have one and it's still in the box. Came with the phone.
Right. Like, if the price point came down, like, you know, right now, still for the Vive, you're looking at like $700 or something just for the device, not counting that your computer needs to be able to support this thing. So yeah, there's a lot going on there. Just the setup of it in your house, like the space required, especially if you're gonna do room scale stuff. Like, you need a room that's pretty big and, you know, unoccupied. The cumbersomeness of the wires. There's just a lot. I mean, I could go on and on. about the problems with adaptability of VR and getting everyone into it and hands-on. And every time I have someone over at my house, like when I'm just kidnapping people, no, but that's at my house, I'll let them try the.
He actually doesn't even like put them in a dungeon. He just puts them in a virtual environment that looks like a dungeon.
Yeah.
Makes them field
But I've let a lot of people test the Vive, and there's a lot of people that have mixed reactions to the thing too. Like a lot of people get nauseous and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't know. It's not for everyone, that's for sure.
So I will tell you, at the Mindcrack Marathon, not this last year, but it might have even been 2 years before this one. Whatever one that we had a bunch of Oculus headsets for.
Oh yeah,
everybody.
that's been a long time ago. The wonder we did the Minecraft thing, and we were at Microsoft's Loft.
Yeah, I think we must have been at Microsoft Loft because we had like 15 or 20 of them there, as opposed to like every other year we've had like 1 or 2 that could be used for something, and they were used for like a segment, but we had a lot of them for some reason, and I ended up using it a lot, especially on the night shifts when Bash didn't show up. Excuse me, just to try to like fill hours because there was so few of us there that we were trying to just do things. And I'll tell you, it was fun. I used it way more than I'd ever used it, and it was more enjoyable and less enjoyable in certain areas than I thought it was going to be, having just like used it in a preview mode. The one thing that really got me about it, and maybe this was just the way it fits on my face, is there was always a little bit of light I could see under the bridge of one side of my nose.
I've noticed that with the Oculus more so than the Vive.
And it broke the immersion because you're looking around and then you just see the streak of light and you're kind of back out of virtual reality.
Yeah. The Vive I find doesn't have that issue, but I do agree that I noticed the same thing when I've used the Oculus.
Yeah, I didn't get nauseous or anything like that, but I don't know, that kept breaking me out of really being immersed in the...
The only time I've felt motion sick was actually then doing the Minecraft King of the Ladder was the only time I've felt nauseous in VR. But I've heard a lot of people.
Was it falling? Was it falling in VR?
No, it's just moving your head around and looking in the world. I don't know what it is. Something about Minecraft and the way it like motion tracking works in VR. It's too blurry or something. I don't know. It's a mess.
Well, and it's kind of weird too because you're not doing true motion because you're not spinning around in a circle to spin around in a circle. You're turning your head and then clicking the joystick to recenter the screen over there,
right?
Because you obviously don't have the free range to just spin around in a circle when you're connected to wires and stuff.
Right.
Oh, just fell down. So I would love to test out the HoloLens and see what you're talking about because all I've heard is your accounting of it and.
I'm really tempted to buy one, but I need to know if I can use it in a way that's going to recover the cost, and make content with it. And if I can't,
how do you make content with it?
I mean, they had ways to record the stuff we were seeing in Minecraft at the time.
Would you watch it like you watch it in like when somebody do an Oculus Rift where it's all stitched together in the middle?
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess it really depends on what all I can do with it. But I do look forward to a time in the future when everyone's televisions are not real in their house and things like that.
What's the quality?
It was amazing. It was because, I mean, the pixels are right in front of your eyeballs. So it was like, I don't even know how to describe it. It looked amazing. It looked like the best television I've ever looked at in my life.
I mean, it's pretty... It has so many real-world applications that I can see as well. Like, I mean, maybe not knowing how the technology works. Let's pretend I'm an auto mechanic, and I open up the hood of an engine, and I'm trying to make my way down to the starter of the engine. Can you have it programmed for this specific car with these are the components that are supposed to be in there, and you can kind of like peel back the 3D layers to know exactly how you have to like remove components and stuff to get down to the starter?
Yes.
Because you can kind of like move layers and see through
That's
it.
Like actually part of the trailers they have is like somebody working on a motorcycle and it like pops up exactly what they need to do and like what the spots the piece is going to look like when they place it there and stuff like that.
I mean, medical industry.
That's another thing in the trailer. It's like you're reciting the trailer. It shows surgeons.
Man, I need to. Microsoft needs to call me and like.
Well, it sounds like they got you already. They're like tapping into you somehow. But yeah, it shows surgeons using the HoloLens to help with the surgery, basically.
I mean, I want to. I would love to test the thing out because I've never gotten that chance to yet. Because I still, in my mind, it's still like virtual reality. It's so because I've never seen it.
Right.
And I know the concept of augmented reality is a different concept than virtual reality. And I do think the future is augmented reality. And I was really surprised, though, just to hear that, the HoloLens 2 is coming out, considering I've never seen advertisements for the HoloLens 1 since I've heard you talk about it.
Yeah, they didn't really push it consumer-wise, HoloLens 1. So
are they pushing the second one consumer-wise?
I don't know, because, at $3,500 a pop, that's not really consumer-friendly. I still think that they're pushing it more like educational route, military route, like corporate use for the product more so than like everyone needs to have a HoloLens in their house.
I want to be the first nursing instructor that gets to teach a class based on the HoloLens.
That'd be cool.
I'd be very cool. I mean, you could teach so many things about like showing just how to do a standard assessment on it. Maybe even like outside of nurse, break it down even easier. An EMT trauma assessment. You do a quick trauma assessment with somebody like it's in a car accident, they're unconscious or something like that. You got to find out what the fuck is wrong with them. And you're trying to run down head to toe, feeling every little part of the body. See if anything feels deformed, anything feels odd. It'd be so cool just to have this augmented reality show you what you're feeling and why you're feeling it. Like It's just showing like the femur bone as I'm grabbing the leg and going. Granted, it's not going to show if this person's femur bone is actually broken because it's not an X-ray machine. I get that, but it's showing you why you're feeling this part of the body.
Right.
You know, because you're looking for this item or this type of thing. Or it would make so much more sense in the teaching scheme.
One of the things that is scary about AR is once it's widely accepted and everyone's wearing glasses every day. Like I've seen videos like kind of showing what the world would look like in this case, and advertising is going to be a nightmare. Like,
yeah.
Like
it's gonna be very personalized advertisements on billboards. Like billboards will all be blank, and you just have the ARs putting in the billboard that
you don't even have to have a billboard there, really.
That's true. That's true. The thousands of non-billboards that are just advertisements specifically for you. That will be.
Yeah.
Will be interesting. Oh, not exactly the same, but speaking kind of along the lines of augmented reality. So we talked before about Thomas the engine and how
I was worried you said Thomas if you meant the tank.
Yeah, Thomas the Tank. But there's another Thomas book that my son has, which is some pop-up book. And I don't know if the kids companies try to like outdo each other, but this book advertises that there's 235 pop-up flaps to like, be able to look at. These are not pop-up flaps that you pop it up and like you open it up and something like jumps out at you. It's just like you open it up and see something else.
Yeah, no, I got tons of books like this. I know exactly.
Here's a box. Open it up. Inside the box was a teddy bear.
Right.
And each page is just strewn with like.
It's like 40 on every damn page.
Oh God, there's so many. It's ridiculous. And of course, my son wants to look at every single flap. It's like painful to read this book down.
I know all about this. I have a Shrek book that's like this, and I hated it. But anyway.
But not only that, this one is so terrible that at one point, like it's showing you're looking at this screens or this thing. It's like, look, it's a train car, and you open up the side of the train car, and it shows the people inside the train car. Okay, that makes sense. For some reason there was like boxes, like a luggage car derailed, so there's luggage all over the place. So there's 10 different random pieces of luggage that you can just open up and look at. Like this one's got a teddy bear in it. This one's got some clothes folded up. Like just stupid shit that are irrelevant to the story of what's inside of here. And then when it's like you literally open up this bottom compartment of the train. And I had to flip it back and forth like 4 times. It was the same picture inside and outside.
What the fuck?
There was the flap revealed nothing. It was just like the same picture printed twice.
The hell?
And I'm like going through this book going, okay, this is just stupid and ridiculous. And of course you get into ones, it's like, it shows this hole in the ground. And all of a sudden you pull the thing out and it shows that it's where the squirrel had buried his nuts. And then there's a tree in the background. And you open up the tree and I'm thinking, okay, it's going to show me like the family of squirrels living in the tree. No, for some reason, this one, you open up the tree and it reveals a man riding a horse.
What?
I'm assuming it was trying to say that he was behind the tree.
Right.
But nothing else was like, this is behind. It was always, this is inside. So now, like, does my son think that men riding horses live in trees? Like, I was just like, what the fuck is wrong with this book? But like, so stupid. But how cool will that be for the future of like augmented reality type books?
That's a good
for
point.
Kids.
Yeah, that is true. That's going to be pretty cool.
Or
like just learning in school.
Or will that be a bad? Will that be a bad thing? Like in theory, I can pull up my phone and show you a story that's either animated or even flip pages like it's a book. But all of a sudden, that's screen time to people now.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. Are you by a bed anywhere?
I'm not. Is it night? Damn, I've done nothing but stare at the ground and plant, so I didn't even know it was night.
Oh, you're close to a bed. Well,
am I? I'm going the wrong way.
I guess not. You just disappeared from my view, which means actually you probably still got a long ways to go, huh?
I'm coming back down.
Oh, you're coming down, huh?
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get.
I think there's still one down here.
I'll go to the far away bed. I'm way in the corner. Far away bed. Yeah, I think it'll be. I definitely think augmented reality is coming for the masses. For like, and it does kind of scare me, as some people will turn into. You constantly, basically, have to wear. Can you imagine if I guess you couldn't like do this, or maybe you would in the
there
future?
was a bed down here.
There is. There's on the. There, guys are coming for me. Can you imagine if they made it so it's not like you don't even have like road signs anymore telling you how to get to places?
I think that's exactly what it'll be like. But I feel like that's going to be built into the cars.
You think it'll be on the HUD?
Yeah.
Are you in the bed yet?
I am.
Okay, I just got in. Made it.
I had a spider at my feet. He just watched me sleep.
He was like, "Hello, Guude."
But I also
He's
think.
like,
let's go ahead.
I was gonna say he's wondering if you knew if he was part of your AR or your real.
I think that by that point too, we're also going to be at the point where all the cars are self-driving cars. So.
Yeah, I think by the time you get to that point, you might be right, because I think for everything to be a self-driving car, everything needs to be interconnected. That's why the self-driving concept now is a little bit scary, because you're still like based off of other human reactions can completely destroy the situation. Second, every car is interconnected and you can control everything together.
Yeah.
It'll be way safer.
Though, in the books I've read where this is a reality, there's still like all these...
the hacking problems?
Well, no, it wasn't hacking problems. It's more of if one... Like, the cars basically, like, if the system crashes and stuff like that, there's situations where... There's basically, like, tech support groups that are still, like, looking for, like, gridlock to happen because of one malfunction, and then, like, everything is gridlocked because they were interconnected and they can't get out of this loop of gridlock, basically.
I mean... Okay, I get it.
So they still have, like, basically, like, call centers, so to speak, where they're constantly watching, like, the world map or the U.S. map or whatever, so that they can, like, support these cars whenever the computer fucks up.
I just went too far. Oh, God. We've done too much good work. I can't get out from where the beacon's at without making water go everywhere. I fell down the beacon hole again. I was trying to dig my way up. I've destroyed things.
Made mistakes.
Yes, big mistakes. Let's go up here. I guess you're a lot closer to the beacon than I realized. And I think I screwed up some of these. Yep, I definitely did. That should not be there. That should be there. think I fixed it. There we go. There we go. No, so how, do you know if it's even released yet, HoloLens 2, or
It's
is
not.
it just...
I think it's April that it comes out. I believe.
I really wish I'd just seen them advertise it more, or even knew what they use. Like, I've not seen them even talk about it from the perspective of, like, we're trying to put this in education or whatever.
Right. I really think their main focus has been military, because that's where the money's coming from. Like, the videos I've seen of how they're using it in the military is pretty fucking wild, though. Like, you can, like, shoot, like, you know, you're just, like, you can see, like, basically, like, super soldiers with, like, these HUDs and shit, you know what I mean?
Oh, so they're driving a fake created soldier.
No, like, the soldiers are using it in the field of duties, but, using, like, they can, like, show you, like, everyone that's in this building in front of you, and, like, you can see where they're all at, and, like, shit like that. Like, shit from, like, Mission Impossible and those kind of movies. But
You got that fortune pick?
I'm using a fortune pick.
I've uncovered some diamonds up here on the level. Yeah, I mean, at that point, though, why do you send the soldier out? Why don't you make a battle bot?
Yeah, but there is still some rules about that in war. So that's why.
How long do rules and war stick together with the president like one we have? Or if nuclear war were to actually break out?
I mean, if nuclear war breaks out, it's over. Which that was something that Cohen said in his testimony, not nuclear war, but he said that there's no way we're going to have a peaceful transfer of power.
If Trump loses.
Yeah, 2020.
Which is kind of crazy to think about that.
There's a possibility that he could not lose.
Well, can you imagine if he doesn't get impeached and he loses and literally is just like 90, figure it out, see you later, I'm out, type of deal, and doesn't actually do sit down with the incoming president to actually transfer things appropriately.
Well, what they're insinuating is that he was already calling foul before the last election, saying that it was going to be rigged, and then he won. He was like, well, it still was rigged. I mean, illegals, and because he didn't win the popular vote. But basically, what they're saying now is even if he does lose, he'll basically contest it and try to still stay president.
But how do you contest it, though?
Take it to court, challenge the results of the election,
and then you just is that going to be like? Did you ever watch?
You broke up.
The House of Cards.
Oh no, I haven't. I'm not into political shows. I never watched West Wing either.
I also never watched West Wing. But yeah, they did something crazy where they invoked some little known amendment where basically what happened was the current, or they voted in a vice president somehow. And the vice president ends up taking over the powers as the president after the January, transition of power is supposed to take place because the election hadn't yet been decided because of some weird contested things. And the vice president acted as the president until which time an actual election could take place to determine the president.
Mm.
But it was like the newly elected vice president, even though you run on a platform. Maybe Congress or something had to decide who the vice president was going to be at that point or something. I don't know. It was very weird.
How do you feel about? Have we talked about Bernie running again? I think we did, didn't we?
We talked about the fact that he was running.
Okay.
I mean, again, who's going to get the support of the major Democratic,
the DNC,
and other people still going to run to dilute the vote.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely other people that run. I wonder if anyone's going to run on the Republican side, that's never happened, right?
Because I don't think so. I don't think when they wanted to run, can the RNC actually choose to not support Trump, support somebody else?
Yeah. I don't think the RNC would do that. But can someone else still run without? I mean, they can, right? They don't need the RNC to support them.
Like you said, anybody can run for president.
Right.
You just don't have the support of that, major part of your party. Whether people would do that or not, because they probably don't want because of political lines, the Republicans want a Republican in office, and they'd rather have a Republican if that's not them, as opposed to a Democrat, because there was, no dilution of votes.
This could be an interesting election season.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna start getting up into political ad season soon here, right?
Oh, I can't wait. Best YouTube revenue ever.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume that's going to start in the next 6 to 8 months.
Right, it's gotta. What was I gonna say? Oh, I would love it if like the Democrats, whatever they were asked questions about, like how they're gonna run against Trump, stuff like that. I'd love it if they would just always stick with the rhetoric of, I mean, for all I know, I may not be running against Trump. He might be in prison.
Just say, no one's running against a man from prison.
Yeah.
Can you run from prison? Did we talk about this?
Yes, you can.
So you think he'll still run if he's in prison?
Probably.
Can you run if you've been impeached?
I don't think so. I would go with no. But we don't know because it's never been done. I'm going to say
That's
no.
true. We've never had an impeached president before. And like Clinton and Nixon couldn't run again because they were on their second terms, right?
Right.
I guess Clinton didn't resign either, so it didn't matter. Whereas Nixon resigned, but
I'm looking forward to.
It'll be some entertainment value. Saturday Night Live will get good again, even though actually it's still pretty good.
I really like the cold opens that make. I mean, I've enjoyed most of the cold opens lately. I don't watch the whole show though. I normally just catch what I want to see on YouTube of the show, and that's about it.
That's kind of how I work with, not really on YouTube, but with Stephen Colbert's show. I don't like Stephen Colbert's new show, The Late Show. I liked when he did the Colbert Report. I don't like this new show, but I like his opening monologue. Oh, I will sit and watch his opening monologue.
Yeah. He made a much better character than a host of a late night show, really, in my opinion.
I agree.
And that was something that it's not being done anywhere else. Like, there's plenty of the late night shows with who the fuck ever, but there is no Stephen Colbert. There is no show like the Colbert Report. So.
No, but there's still the Daily Show, which with Trevor Noah was still good.
Yeah, but I mean, what I'm saying is like, there's no one pretending to be this hardcore Republican running a comedian show, basically. You know what I'm saying? Hold
on. I don't remember him ever be a hardcore Republican running that show.
You didn't realize that Stephen Colbert was pretending to be a hardcore Republican the whole time he was doing the Colbert Report?
No, maybe because I saw sarcasm in things that he said a lot of times. I didn't realize he was trying to come across as a Republican.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. That was the whole show, Jeff.
Wow. I somehow didn't even understand this whole show, apparently, though, because I did not know that, and I never thought of him as a Republican in any sense of the word.
Wow.
Maybe I just didn't.
You totally missed that show. You missed the whole joke.
I guess I missed the entire joke in that show.
Cool. That's pretty crazy to me.
Wow. I don't know how I.
Is everyone in your chat calling you crazy man now?
No, not a single person died. The only thing in my chat is bring back Jon Stewart.
Yeah, he was basically supposed to be.
Calling you crazy man right now?
No, they're calling you one.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. They're calling. Calling me one.
Yeah,
I guess I just didn't. I don't know. Like, I saw a lot of his stuff. Like I said, as I knew it was it was like a lot of sarcasm with things he said. I didn't know the whole point was him trying to pretend to be a hardcore Republican.
Yeah, he was supposed to basically be a Bill O'Reilly. Like, that was what his character was based on, was Bill O'Reilly.
Yep, that went completely over my head. That was how he was trying to go about it.
I love it. Oh, wow. That's crazy. I can't. Wow. All right.
Yep. You learn something new every day.
So you just thought it was just like a political comedy show?
Yeah, absolutely. Thought it was just a political comedy show.
I mean, then how would it differ from the Daily Show? Just a different host, basically?
I didn't even think it did that much. And I still, looking back, I don't think it did. It still showed factual things that happened, but putting a satire-like comedic spin to them.
I mean, I've met people that did not realize he was being sarcastic, in fact. I've met people that thought he was a hardcore Republican.
So, and maybe that's my problem, is that I knew the whole thing was sarcasm, and I knew that he was Republican, that I didn't even click in. So now that I think about a lot of his segments, and the segments always made me laugh, like the created ones, because they were so far-fetched and leaning the other way to show how stupid the other way was in certain areas. And that's all that I ever took it as. I didn't realize he was trying to pretend. I thought it was just like, this whole thing is satire and sarcasm because of how stupid it sounds. Not, I don't know.
Huh.
So I guess I can see where what I saw was him being like a hard Republican pretending to be, but still I was so new that it was pretending that it was just, I didn't even think he was pretending. I thought he was just being, like me sitting here and saying that I'm somebody who hates playing video games or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of where I saw that.
I got you. That's cool though.
You're like, well, one friend on that Guude has now. He's done.
No, I just cracks me up. It's like whenever you hear a song lyric wrong and think that you've got it like for like always or whatever.
What? So yeah, that just you blink when
I mean, yeah, they're okay. Not like fan, but
so he said something. What was his tweet the other day? One of the singers from Blink-182 said something about wearing cologne to get the feeling right. And it was supposed to be like a playback to his "What's My Age Again" song, where he says, "I wore cologne to get the feeling right. We started making that." And she took. So I know that song very well. Apparently, he said that, and somebody made a comment about the song, and somebody in the tweet response was like, "Oh, I always thought that line was, I walk alone to get the feeling right, and it didn't make sense to me. So wearing cologne makes a lot more sense," which started this whole thing that all these people came out of the woodwork going, "I had no idea that the lyric was I wore cologne to get the feeling right." And basically the guy from Blink-182 called him out and said, "If you ever thought that the words were not I wore cologne to get the feeling right, you weren't a true fan."
I think I am also in that camp.
Really?
I think so. I'd have to hear this song now to make sure like I am thinking right, but I don't think I knew that's what he said.
So, and it's so funny because there's some lyrics out there that I've thought wrong my entire life. Find out that it's completely different than you thought, and you feel like dumb and crazy. That's one of those ones that I had no idea that there was a whole camp of people that had a different thought process than what it said. Oh, to me, when I hear that, even if you thought it was the wrong lyric, I think that that's insane because it was so clear to me. But I'm sure that there's also those lyrics that I have completely wrong that I've always had wrong. And
yeah, no, yeah, there's tons. I mean, there's tons of them. My cousin, I think there's a country song where it's like trouble and like they spell it's like I spelled TROUBLE or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? That song?
No, but did you think trouble was spelled a different way?
No, he thought the lyric was I spilled tea all over you and me.
Spilled tea all over you and me.
He was like singing it one day. I was like, "What the fuck did you just say?"
It was Vanilla Ice is Ice Ice Baby. You know that song?
Yeah.
I'm sure you've heard it. A1A.
Beechwood Avenue.
Do you know that? What'd you say?
Beechwood Avenue, isn't that the next part?
Beachfront Avenue.
Oh, okay.
I grew up thinking, and I think this was a Michigan thing. Every time that it came on, it was like a school dance or whatever. Everybody would yell after he said A1A. They would say Detroit Avenue. And it was years before I realized that he wasn't saying Detroit Avenue. He was saying Beachfront Avenue. And I think it was because everybody in Michigan decided it must be Detroit Avenue.
Right. I wonder if they were just saying that like a meme or if they really thought it.
And you know what? It could have been like a meme, and I just really thought it because I had I had heard it as well. But
right. God, the most special thing in the world. Were you there whenever Raelian started singing the Eminem song?
Which Eminem song?
Slim. I'm the real Slim Shady. Please send.
I'm Slim Shady.
Yeah, whatever that song
okay.
is.
What did she sing? I'm so curious.
So apparently, she had only ever heard the radio edit. She had never actually heard the real song. And so, like, the radio edit is just, like, made for, like, 10-year-olds. And she lost her shit. Like, this was during the Twitch Sing segments in our marathon. And she, like, shut it down. She called someone into Twitch and had the song removed. Like, yeah. But she was, like, singing lyrics from, like, the Barney show, basically, for the song.
I do remember her calling Twitch to have something removed from their Twitch things. Is the Twitch things not supposed to contain?
I think she overreacted personally, but that's just my opinion.
Because I can't imagine why they need to like karaoke have it be limited to songs.
I don't know why it needs to be PG. Honestly, so I don't know.
I do know. I was a big Kid Rock fan back in the day.
Oh no!
And I thought it was. Oh yeah, well, Kid Rock's also from the Detroit area, so you gotta like your local people, Eminem, Kid Rock, all that. So one of his albums, I remember he said one of the lyrics in the song is trying to get one of these motherfucking songs to hit, and they change it on the. I ended up getting like the CD of it back in the day, and it ended up being like I don't know if I bought it from Kmart or whatever, but it only has the parental version of songs out there. And it didn't make any sense to me because they changed the lyric to say, and I want to get one of these 14 songs to hit. But I'm looking at the CD and I'm so confused because there's only 12 songs on the CD. It turned out the non-edited version of the CD had 2 songs that they completely removed from the edited. One of them was called "Fuck You." The other, and I don't remember what the other one was called, but they removed these 2 songs to drop it from a 14-song CD to a 12-song CD. But the lyric that they changed to make this make sense now didn't make any sense because the CD you put it on didn't even have that many songs on it.
That's hilarious.
I always thought that was really funny.
Oh, God. Well, I would say with here we should be done. I hope one of these 2 episodes is a hit.
One of us only has to put out one of the episodes, though, to make this make sense, right?
Right. Well, I'm not going to put one of them out, so.
All right, guys.
Bye-bye.
We will see you next time.